You're watching Men of Platinum presents Direct Hit. We're looking back at Gujarat Titans versus Chennai Super Kings, where we will be picking out the one player who stood out for his indomitable spirit and unwavering values just like Platinum. Our Platinum men for the day are Mitch McClenaghan and Dasgupta, who will help pick out that winner on a day where we saw 2 centuries. So tough choice ahead for you. But before that, we do a quick-fire review of Gujarat Titans' win over CSK. I will start with you, Deep. Was that the best innings Sai Sudarshan has played in the IPL, and why?
By far, because obviously the one thing that he's been kind of criticized for is his strike rate, and obviously he kind of did a fabulous job of that. I mean, getting 100 of 50 odd deliveries, 50 or 51 deliveries, so strike rate of 200. Then obviously both against spin and especially fast bowling, where his strike rate this season has been on the lower side. So the way he kind of batted, especially in the first 6 overs against the fast bowlers, and then obviously when the spinners came in under pressure, opening the innings. So yeah, definitely something that he'll enjoy, and certainly I did.
To you, Mitch, did Chennai get their overseas combination wrong?
Potentially. I think at the outset, I certainly thought that they had it right, because they needed to bolster their batting, and it looked like a very strong batting unit. But the way their bowlers went about their work tonight would probably say otherwise. But I think if they had their time again, they'd probably still go with the same combination and just hope that their bowlers did a better job.
Deep, why did we see spinners from both sides struggle as much today?
Because one, there wasn't much help for the spinners. The other thing is, when there is bounce, which this particular pitch had, it's easier to get under the ball. So that's the reason you see a lot of those sixes. In fact, some of those sixes were off the back foot because of that extra bounce and pace that the pitch had to offer. So you can, as a batter, get under the ball, and it's not a big venue any which way. So that pace and bounce did help the batters.
To you, Mitch, what did Mohit Sharma get right after a few forgettable outings?
I think just went back to his basic skills, used his variations extremely well, and he didn't give too many bad balls. And he played to the conditions he knows very well, and I'm sure he would have loved being back at his home ground, because he is one of the best bowlers when they come back to Ahmedabad.
And to you, Deep, how much of a dent will this defeat have on CSK's playoff push?
Massive one, because now they have to win the next 2, and the next 2 aren't going to be easy. They're playing Rajasthan Royals and then playing RCB after that. So it's not going to be easy, and they need to. I mean, I know there are still a possibility of qualifying for the playoffs with 14, but I doubt that's going to happen. In the end, it's going to take 16 points for the teams to qualify, and for that, they don't have much elbow room now.
All right, so that's the rapid fire done, covering GT's win over CSK, which takes them to 10 points. Now it's time to pick the man of Platinum. 2 Platinum innings we saw in that first innings, only the 3rd time an IPL innings has had 2 centuries. And I believe we are not looking at any other contenders. So between Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan, which way are we leaning?
I definitely would be looking at Shubman Gill. I don't know where you stand on it. And I'll give you the reason why. I think at the toss he said they had a 1% chance of going through. And you saw the steely look in his eye. And I thought that showed that there's a lot of team spirit in the change room, that they believe that they can win. And they certainly came out of the gates as if they believed that they could win. And I thought it was very courageous. Showed a lot of courage of Shubman Gill to run down the wicket in the first over to Mitchell Satner, who had bowled very well. And the wicket was a little bit sticky early, so it was a risky shot. But I thought it showed a lot of self-belief in his own game, and him as a leader wanting to make sure he put the best foot forward. And it was just a knock that really, really impressed me.
And
yeah, I mean, courageous definitely, yes, because obviously he's coming off a few low scores, and then just to go out there and bat the way he did, without any fear of failure or anything, because that tends to happen as a batter when you haven't scored in the last few games. You get into a shell, but rather than that, that was a really courageous effort, a resilient one as well, because, I mean, under pressure as a captain as well, because, leading a franchise is a different ball game. There's a lot of pressure and different, I mean, you're used to pressure from fans, but you've got fans, you've got owners, you've got, so many other, places where you can come under pressure. So, yeah, I mean, that was a superb knock.
Yeah, there's all that surround sound that Deep points to, which comes as part of being an IPL captain. Add to that the personal baggage. It's only been a few weeks since he found out that he hasn't made the cut for the World Cup 15. So points to perseverance as well.
Absolutely. You know, tough situation to be in. Everyone wants to play for their country, and probably before this IBL, he would have been in that side. And just a few other players performing exceptionally well. Probably Jitesh being out of form, probably counted against him as well. You know, so it's obviously nice to, once that's moved on, it was, I think in these situations, it tells you a lot about a man and as a player, like how they react and come back from disappointment, and players can go and sulk and they disappear and not come back. But that perseverance, that courage, that self-belief to say, do you know what, I'm going to stick it to anyone who's ever doubted me and doubted my quality as a player or form throughout this comp. And he went out there and showed that tonight.
Yeah, all of them values as rare as platinum. So thank you, Mitch and Deep, for helping pick that winner out. Shubman Gill, with the 100th 100 in the history of the IPL, is the man of platinum from GT versus CSK.